Aunt Millie's Bakery, the customer came to me basically proposing two separate projects. One was what's called a pan stacker. Imagine a large piece of equipment in a conveyor system that stacks and unstacks bakery sheets. And then the other one is what they call a panamat, which is basically a complex way of saying the funnel and the siphon that distributes different ingredients, different things like flour and yeast and sugar into the bread. It's an automated piece of equipment. Also needs to be cut in the conveyor. Those were supposed to be two separate projects, and we condensed it all down into one. The process really started from the planning stage of things. We walked it with different manufacturer reps, different engineers to determine the layout, determine the measurements, determine what kind of modifications we're going to need to go on. And there was quite a bit of them. We had to remove the old equipment on shutdown periods, so the electricians and different manufacturers, different engineers would come in and kill the entire line, allowing us to go in with equipment moving, forklifts and high-lows and things of that nature, pull out the old stuff, which allowed us to then modify the existing conveyors, cut them back, raise heights, change elevations, change angles, then bring in the new stuff from another facility, unload it from a truck, bring it into the plant, and then ultimately install and restart the entire assembly line again. Once the new equipment was installed, we brought air utilities to it, water utilities to them, electrified it, and started up the line in order to be back up and running on Monday. Start a business. Urgency was really big with this one. Imagine a large commercial industrial bakery. There's not a whole lot of shutdowns. So right now, Aunt Millie's Plymouth is running 3 shifts around the clock all year long. And coming into the summer is definitely their busy period. You imagine families barbecuing and families going out celebrating things like 4th of July. So right now that customer's planning for those periods of their year. So our downtime period was only about 3 days. That's all that they could give us in order to turn it off and get the entire work done. So timeline was definitely a major component in this. Originally when we walked this, we'd planned to have crews of about 12 guys working around the clock, 3 different shifts for 3 days straight. We were able to pull a lot of that ahead, increase the amount of manpower to about 16 men, and cut that timeline by about half. So we were able to knock everything out in 2 really, really long day shifts, about 14 to 16 hours, and then hand it over to the customer for energization and startup. The final outcome of the job was an outstanding success. We handed the entire project over to the electrical contractors on the 3rd day of the 3-day shutdown, the beginning of the 3rd day, giving them an entire day to reboot the entire system, hook up the system, and begin testing and starting. The customer was able to turn it over on Monday morning and begin production as if nothing had even skipped a beat. They were ecstatic with it. And anytime that we can face difficulty, we can face challenge, we can face adversity, and then come out the back end of that with a little bit more of a positive outlook, positive perspective, and not getting bogged down, not getting stuck in the grind, not getting stuck in the rut, but kind of working through it. I think that value of added confidence to both myself, guys I'm working with, the team, as well as both the customer and the manufacturers, instills a certain level of confidence in us and everything that we do on a daily basis, but also in the customer and the fact that they're gonna look at us going forward for projects and look at us going forward for work that we're gonna be performing and know that it's gonna be handled right.